In April 2016, a horrific crime shocked the quiet community of Renton, Washington. A vibrant mother of 3, Ingrid Lyne, was brutally murdered, her dismembered remains discovered in recycling bins across Seattle. This unimaginable tragedy sent shockwaves through the nation, leaving many to wonder, how could such a devastating crime occur to someone so full of life? Today, we'll be delving into the tragic story of Ingrid Lyne, who she was, the events leading up to that fateful night, and the aftermath that continues to haunt those who knew and loved her. The conclusion of this case is not what you would expect. Stick around so as not to miss it. As we go through this timeline, you'll see how quickly this seemingly ordinary situation spiraled into something tragic. Let's begin by understanding who Ingrid was and the life she led before that fateful night. Ingrid Lyne was a 40-year-old nurse living in Renton, Washington. She was known for her kindness, dedication to her job, and above all, her love for her 3 daughters. Trying to balance her responsibilities as a mother with her desire to find companionship, Ingrid again emerged on the dating scene after her divorce. Ingrid's life was one of love and resilience. She was deeply committed to her children and worked tirelessly to provide for them, all while maintaining a positive outlook despite the challenges she faced. As a nurse, she was dedicated to her patients, often going above and beyond in her work. In early 2016, Ingrid met John Robert Charlton on an online dating platform. On the surface, Charlton appeared to be charming and attentive, and the two began spending more time together. Friends and family were hopeful that Ingrid had found someone who could bring happiness into her life once more. But as we'll soon discover, things weren't as they seemed. John Robert's life was far from stable, and his background hinted at issues that would later become all too apparent. Despite his circumstances, the pair began dating, and over the course of 6 to 8 weeks, they spent time together, including on the evening of April 8th, 2016. That night, Ingrid arranged for her children to stay with their father overnight, as she planned a date with John Robert. The two attended a Seattle Mariners game at Safeco Field, a normal and seemingly innocent evening out. They were seen at the game, enjoying themselves like any other couple. But what happened after they left the stadium remains a mystery, because the next morning, Ingrid's ex, Philip Lyne, became extremely concerned when he noticed his ex-wife was absent from her Renton home while he was dropping off the kids. Their worst fears were confirmed when, on April 9th, 2016, dismembered human remains were discovered in recycling bins in Seattle's Central District. The remains were quickly identified as those of Ingrid Lyne. The community was left in a state of shock and horror with this discovery. On April 9th, when Phil was unable to find Ingrid or spot her 2015 Toyota Highlander parked in the driveway, he reached out to her mother, Yorga. After arriving at the Renton home with a key, Yorga found Ingrid's wallet, cell phone, and other personal items. Due to sharing a Verizon plan with her daughter, the alarmed mother noticed numerous calls to and from a Montana area code. Looking for answers about Ingrid's whereabouts, she texted the number and received a reply from John, who said he thought Ingrid was with her children. Even after Jorga detailed the circumstances and reached out to 911, John Robert appeared oblivious to the seriousness of the situation. He texted, "911? What's happening? We went to the Mariners game last night, but we didn't spend the night together because she has her kids today." The mother quickly informed him that Ingrid was missing and insisted he talk to a police officer, highlighting that he might be crucial as the last person to see her. Several friends and colleagues of the missing woman recognized John Robert Charlton as Ingrid's date, prompting her family to become more anxious and reach out to both law enforcement and the media. When Seattle police discovered human remains in Mike Novazio's trash can, they were able to confirm that they belonged to Ingrid, aided by her social media photos, as decomposition had not yet occurred.
911, what are you reporting?
This is going to sound really bizarre, but I went to go grab my recycling bin, and there were 3 white trash bags in the recycling bin, and I went to lift them out. And honestly, it's freaking me out, but it looks like it's a foot.
My name's Mike Novazio, and I found human remains in my recycling bin. It was just 3 bags in the bottom of that bin that were incredibly heavy. and weren't supposed to be there. I grabbed the first bag and it was so almost professionally packaged that it was very eerie. And you could see, as I pulled it up, what was the outline of a face.
On April 11th, authorities located her stolen vehicle in downtown Seattle and arrested John in Lake Stevens that same day on charges of murder. Investigators initially suspected John Robert might have been a serial killer, given the brutal nature of the crime and the meticulous dismemberment of Ingrid's body. However, no further evidence came to light, leaving many questions unanswered. John stated that he and Ingrid had been in a relationship for a month and had gone to a baseball game on April 8th before heading to her home. However, he claimed that he couldn't remember what happened afterward because he was intoxicated. Reportedly, he ended up spending the night on a street in Seattle with no memory of how he got there. The officers noted injuries on his lips and chin, scratches on his chest, and abrasions on his forehead and hand. They also discovered a 15-inch pruning saw near her bathtub, along with an empty box of plastic garbage bags that resembled those used to hold the remains. Information from Charlton's former girlfriend revealed that he often visited a shelter in Seattle, but spent about 2 nights a week at her home. Initially, John tried to maintain his innocence, but law enforcement connected him to the crime through various circumstantial evidence. His fingerprints were discovered in Ingrid's stolen vehicle, which was retrieved from Belltown, Seattle, and an ex-girlfriend reported his aggressive behavior during intimate moments. Additionally, John admitted to the police that he struggled with alcohol and described himself as not a normal person. On October 2nd, 2017, John admitted guilt to charges of first-degree murder and motor vehicle theft just before his trial was set to begin. On January 5th, 2018, he received a sentence of 27 years and 9 months, which was the maximum penalty permitted by state law, despite the judge's desire to impose a life sentence. During the sentencing hearing, John expressed his remorse, saying, "There are no words that could alleviate the pain I've caused. For that, I'm truly sorry." Now 44 years old, he is serving his time at Washington State Penitentiary and could potentially be released in 2045. Perhaps the most frustrating aspect of this case was the absence of a clear motive. Charlton never revealed why he committed such a heinous crime, leaving Ingrid's loved ones and the broader community grappling with the senselessness of her death. The aftermath of Ingrid Lyne's death rippled through her community. Friends, family, and even strangers gathered to mourn a life cut tragically short. Memorials were held and a fund was established to support her daughters, ensuring that Ingrid's legacy would live on through them. Ingrid's story is a heartbreaking reminder of the dangers that can lurk behind seemingly ordinary encounters. Her death left a void that can never be filled, but her memory continues to inspire those who knew her. Ingrid Lyne was a beloved mother, friend, and nurse. Her tragic death serves as a solemn reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of being vigilant, even in the most familiar situations. You'll find another video coming your way soon. Please like and subscribe. Stay ready and be safe out there, people.